How to solve quadratic equations. So the first type we need to solve is when we're given the factors, okay, and here we have solved 2x minus 1 by x plus 4. So you're given the factors here, so all you have to do is let each factor equal to 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0, therefore 2x equals plus 1. X is equal to a half. That's dividing both sides by 2, x equals a half. And for this factor then we say let x plus 4 equals 0, bring the 4 over, x equals minus 4. So the answer is x is equal to half and x is equal to minus 4. The second type we might be asked to solve is when we're given the factors but one of those factors is x. So here's one factor, x minus 3, and here's the other one, it's x. X by x minus 3 in this quadratic is equal to 0. So you just simply take the x, let that equal 0, that's done. And you take the x minus 3, let that equal 0, so x becomes 3. So the answer to a problem like this would be x equals 0 and x is equal to 3. What about when we're asked to find factors using the guide number and then solving for x? So we're asked to solve something like 5x squared minus 13x plus 6 equals 0. So we use our guide number and we see 5 6 is 30, 1 and 30, 2, 15, 3 and 10. All the time we're keeping an eye that this is positive, so it means our signs are going to be the same in our factors. What's the same sign? It's going to be negative. So we're going to try and create minus 13x. We can do that with minus 3 and minus 10x. Minus 10x minus 3x is minus 13x. So we rewrite this with that in mind. So we have 5x squared minus 10x minus 3x plus 6 equals 0. And then we just factorize by grouping. So we end up with 5x into x minus 2 minus the 3 here into x minus 2. So our standout factor is x minus 2. Our other factor is 5x minus 3. And now we're at the position where we were at the beginning of the first problem, where we have the factors equal to 0. So we let the first factor, x minus 2 equals 0, x equals 2. As it crosses the bridge, the sign changes, and here let 5x minus 3 equals 0, so 5x must be equal to 3, x must be equal to 3 over 5, just dividing both sides by 5. Okay, so the answer is x is equal to 2, and x is equal to 3 over 5. So the fourth type then, finding factors via the highest common factor. So sometimes we're given a quadratic that looks like this, and you need to be able to say to yourself, do I solve this using a difference of two squares when there's only two terms, or do I solve it using the highest common factor? In this case, we'll look for the highest common factor of 3x squared of minus 7x, and that's x, and that leaves us with 3x minus 7. So now we're like the other example we met earlier, where we have the two factors, but one of them is x. So we let x equal 0, that's done. And we let 3x minus 7 equals 0, so the 7 comes over the bridge, becomes plus 7, 3x equals 7, x must be equal to this 7 over that 3. So the answer is x equals 0, x equals 7 over 3. Now we have a problem where we're looking to find the factors using the difference of two squares, that should say there. So look, solve 4x squared minus 49. So we can't do this via the highest common factor. It's got two terms, so we're going to try and solve it using the difference of two squares. So square root of 4 is 2, square root of x squared is x, square root of 49 is 7. So 2x plus 7 and 2x minus 7 equal to 0. So we let 2x plus 7 equal 0, therefore 2x is equal to minus 7. X must be equal to minus 7 divided by that 2. Okay? And let 2x minus 7 equal 0, so 2x now is equal to 7 in this case, so x is also equal to 7 over 2. Okay? Remember, this means that if we plug in this value for x back into the quadratic where we see x, we will get 0, and same if we plug that in as well. So the answer to this problem is x equals minus 7 over 2 and x equals 7 over 2. Sometimes we'll meet with a problem where we have to multiply out brackets to create a quadratic equation, and once we have that, we factorize it to solve for x. So look at this, 2x times x minus 2 equals 3 times x plus 10. 2x by x, 2x squared, 2x by 2, minus 2, sorry, is minus 4x, equals 3x plus 3 by 10 is 30. Okay? Gather your terms over the bridge. We have 2x squared minus 4x minus this 3x minus this 30 equals to 0. So add your like terms. We have 2x squared minus 7x minus 30 equals 0. Guide number says we're looking at 60. This side says our sign is going to be different to try and make minus 7. So we'll go with the 5 and the 12. Okay, so we'll rewrite this so it's 2x squared minus 12x plus 5x minus 30 equals 0. Factorize by grouping, and you should end up with 2x plus 5 and x minus 6. Let this 2x plus 5 equals 0, 2x is equal to minus 5, x equals to that minus 5 over this 2 here. Okay, and then also let x minus 6 equals 0, which implies that x equals 6, so therefore the answer is x is equal to 6 and x is equal to minus 5 over 2. Okay, let's quickly look at how to use a graph to find the roots of a quadratic equation. Well, basically the roots are the x values where the graph cuts the x-axis. So the graph cuts here and here, so the roots of the quadratic equation that from which this graph is drawn are x equals minus 2 and x is equal to 2. Now let's say we were given the roots and we were asked to form the quadratic equation for when the roots are x equals minus 2 and x equals 2, we simply say, well, if x equals 2, we bring that over, we have x plus 2 is equal to nothing, and when x equals minus 2, we bring that over and we get a plus 2 equals to nothing, and when x equals 2, we bring that over, it becomes minus 2, so we have x minus 2 is equal to 0. So the factors are this x plus 2 and that x minus 2 multiplied together equals 0. So if we multiply those out, x by x is x squared, minus 2x plus 2x, and plus 2 by minus 2 is minus 4 equals 0. So that means that if we just cancel minus 2x plus 2x, we'll end up with x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. And that is the quadratic equation. If we were to plot a graph of that, we would end up with a graph that looks like this, which would cut the x-axis at minus 2 and 2. Okay, using the quadratic formula, x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so solve 6x squared minus 9x minus 4 equals 0. Well, the first thing you have to do is find what a is, so block whatever numbers beside the x. Find what b is, it's whatever that value is in the block between the x squared and the x, and find the c, it's whatever that value is between the x and the equal sign. Okay, so a equals 6, b equals minus 9, c equals minus 4. So fill in these values into the equation, so we have x is equal to minus, and we'll stay safe and put our b value, which is minus 9, in there, plus or minus the square root in brackets our b value is minus 9, minus 4 by a, which is 6, by c, which is minus 4, all over 2 times 6. So minus gives us plus, minus times minus, the minus sign outside the brackets changes the sign, it becomes plus 9, plus or minus the square root of minus 9 squared is 81, try it on your calculator, plus minus 4 by 6 is minus 24 times minus 4 is plus 96. So that means x is equal to 9 plus or minus the square root of 81 plus 96, 177, all over 12. So x is equal to 9 plus or minus 13.3, all over 12. And now we compare our different ways now. So we go with our two values are x plus this value over 12, which is 1.86, and x minus this value over 12, minus 0.36. We'll just finish with a quick example. Using quadratic equations in real life, a rectangle has length 3 centimeters greater than its width. So there is its width of x and its length is that x plus the 3 centimeters. Okay, it's bigger than this by 3. It has an area of 28 centimeters squared. Find the dimensions, this dimension and that dimension of the rectangle. So we can equate the fact that the area equals this side multiplied by this side. So that's x plus 3 times x. So 28 is equal to x squared plus 3x. Or if we bring this 28 over here now, we'll have 0 is equal to x squared plus 3x minus 28. And we can rewrite that the other way around, because we're used to seeing that the other way around as, you can't see it here, but that's the same as x squared plus 3x minus 28 equals 0. It doesn't matter which side of the equation the 0 is. So if we do our guide number, we say our guide number is 28. So we're looking to make up this plus 3x. Our signs are going to be different. So we'll go with plus 7 and minus 4, because those multiplied by each other gives us 28. Okay, so we'll rewrite this so it looks like this. X squared minus 4x plus 7x minus 28 equals 0. That means factorising by grouping, we'll have x into x minus 4 plus 7 into x minus 4 equals 0. So that means that we have x minus 4 by x plus 7 is all equal to 0. So now we let x minus 4 equals 0, x equal to 4, and we let x plus 7 equals 0 and x equal to minus 7. Well, you know, the length really can't really be minus 7, so we'll reject that one and we'll accept x is equal to 4. And if that's the case, then x plus 3 is 4 plus 3 is 7, and x itself is 4.